What is going on, everybody? This is Mace Fowler here on Unfiltered, and once again, this is me talking about my experience with Retail Ready Community Center, Retail Ready Career Center. Ah, get your shit together, Zach. This is part 3, kind of going the ins and outs of the administration, and essentially a couple takeaways from it. So this could be short, could be long, depending on how I ran on it. Let's roll with it. So here's the deal. Right now I work at a company where, because they hired a student that went to that school, helped me get a job because they have an expectation of what that school can deliver, right? Now, that coworker I have, awesome. The dude's done fantastic since he started his HVAC career, and just fantastic guy overall. But he went like over a year ago, back when there was only 2 classes. They had 60 students, right? When I went, they had like 300. Now, in the terms of the administration and then how I feel about the school in general, and me and the other students, we did some math. So it's about $18,000 to go to this place, right? That's from your GI Bill. And also you can get loans or whatever, pay for it out of pocket. Now, that covers, now you gotta think of the overhead, right? But let's tally it all together. So you have 300 students. Now, if it's 6 rotations, it's roughly about $5 million, right? Or 6 weeks per rotation, and they kind of stagger them in a fashion. So let's just say roughly, we did the math, I'm not going to go into it now, but let's about $5 million a year, right? Then you got to calculate the overhead. They're staying at the extended stay. They're paying for your tools. They're giving you these iPads and all these things that they give you, right? Not, and that stipend money that you get, I'm pretty sure that that's definitely got to come from your fucking thing. Anyway, so there's a lot of overhead, right? So of course it's going to cost a lot. Then they have to pay the staff. They have to pay all the people that work there. And they're cycling through so many fucking people. So, and then they got to pay to overhead, like to rent the space. Their electricity bills got to be ridiculous because they're running AC fucking all the time with people working on them. So, it makes sense that this shit's not going to be cheap, right? At the same time, though, a lot of those tools that they get, they're not the top of the line tools. But they're not bottom of the barrel either. It's like good, I would say like they're good. They're great for entry level, but they're not like, everyone I work with has way better tools than the shit that I do, right? But I'm building myself up as the paychecks come in. So there's a lot of overhead for the school, right? So, but that explains why it costs so much. Now, from the eyes that I have, you have essentially 3 instructors in the class, right? You have 3 instructors, and then we had about 40 students. And, well, I think when it started off, we had about 40. I think when we graduated, our class is maybe 35, I believe. Some people, a couple of people got kicked out. A couple of people just quit. I didn't really get up in people's business too much, so, that wasn't my thing. But, yeah, so what else was it? Administration. So the way the administration works is they have like a student services center, and I don't really want to. It felt like it's a growing school, and they don't even have their accreditation yet. So they're what they're doing there's a lot of things that are involved with the Texas Workforce Commission and all these different things that they have to adhere to, right? So I guess when I talk about administration, I have to give a grievance, right? Because everyone has some sort of grievance with administration and policy, right? But when you break down the policy and how it's presented, this is the issue that I have. So the attendance policy, right? It states you're allowed to miss 14.5 hours of instruction, right? So the way it works is you get in there, you show up in the morning, they do attendance again after lunch. And I guess they're supposed to do it, they do it twice a day. I guess they're supposed to do it maybe 3 times, whatever, but they do it twice a day. So, and however much time you miss, you have to make up. So on Saturdays, that's the day you get to make up any time that was missed. Now remember when I said you're allowed to miss 14.5. Remember that. So let's use me for example, right? There was one day where right after lunch, we were going to go up on the roof. So we finish up lunch, people start going on the roof, and I'm in line to go on the roof, and I'm like, oh wait, let me go grab my tool bag. I can't believe I forgot it. And I was already out there for 15 minutes. I go back in the classroom, and I'm like, oh yeah, Montgomery, you're 15 minutes late. You're going to have to come in on Saturday. I'm like, but we were going up on the, like half of the class that I'm on, we were going up on the roof. I mean, and it's like, oh well, you gotta, whatever, right? So I ended up, but I guess he marked me down, and then the teacher, Scott, when he came back, marked everyone as there or whatever. Whatever, not that big of a deal. So I ended up coming in on Saturday, and so 15 minutes. I had to make up 15 minutes. So I get on the bus at 6 and end up getting there by 7. So, because it stops at the other hotels and stuff. So that's the thing, because the hotel that you stay at, it's not the only place where the students are. There's all over the Dallas area, like the surrounding Dallas area. There's people staying at like extended stays and stuff. So I get to this place, and the way it is that when you're there, if you miss time, you have to make up for it. I missed 15 minutes, but I can't just stay for 15 minutes and then leave. I get there at like 7:30, and so they start at 8. And so from 8 o'clock up until noon, up until lunchtime, I have to be there for 4 hours, right? Now, I only make up 15 minutes, right? What about that other 3 hours and 45 minutes? That doesn't get put into a bank. That doesn't get set aside or accounted for. That's just, oh, well, now that's just extra instruction. Now, you can voluntarily go in on Saturdays, which I actually, honestly, I highly recommend it, especially if you want lab time. If you want more lab time, go in on fucking Saturday. It's going to definitely help you out a shitload if you volunteer, right? You'll get fucking Sunday off, so just fucking deal with it. 6 weeks out of your life, you were in the fucking military. You've dealt with fucking worse. Just fucking go do it, man. If you decide to go, I'm telling you, go Saturdays. Go fucking Saturdays, man. Get that lab time. So this is my grievance. You're allowed to miss 14.5. That's what it says in the policy. However, they make you make that time up. Okay, makes perfect sense, right? Now, because you're taking a year's worth of instruction, you're crunching it down into 6 weeks, it makes sense that there's a small window, right, that you're allowed to miss. Because that's how most schools do it. Like, you can have so many absences, and then we have to say, fuck off, right? Makes perfect sense. Everyone's got to cover their ass, and you shouldn't be missing shit in the first place, but shit happens. So here's what we're going to do. You miss something, we're going to help you make it up. The problem is, though, you're not really making anything up, because that 15 minutes I made up, that's ticked on to time that's been spent. So now I'm allowed to miss 14.25, right? 14 and a quarter hours I'm allowed to miss at this point. Well, what happened to the 14.5? I made that 15 minutes up, right? Well, no. As far as the school's concerned, yeah, you went out on Saturday, you made up the time that you were gone for, but we're not going to credit that back to you, essentially. We're going to say that, okay, you got that instruction, but you were still late and gone, right? Now, I guess we're just arguing semantics to this point, but if it's in the policy and that's how it's written out, if you go on Saturdays and you make up that time, why can't that be credited back to me, right? Now, I get where the school's coming from, and it makes sense. You shouldn't be missing shit. It's a lot of information you gotta tack in. Makes perfect fucking sense, right? I get it. I fucking get it, right? Fucking hell, dude. Oh my god. Ugh. I know it's dumb, but so basically, you can't miss any time. You can miss up to 14.5. You have to make it up, and if you miss any more time, then that's it. You're toast. You're gone. And the school doesn't give a shit. They, like, from what I've seen there, like, at least from the administration side, they don't mind kicking people out. Like, they don't mind getting rid of people. Like, there's this dude. I don't remember his fucking name, but he works in administration. Now, you have the lead techs, the lead instructors, right? They wear white shirts. At least when I was there, they wore white shirts. They, I guess, are the lead instructors, right? There's this one lead instructor. I never once heard him say anything about HVAC. I never saw him interacting with us. That's just what I never saw. I never said they never did it, just never saw it. So this dude, don't remember his fucking name, but he's a fucking ginger, right? The dude's a fucking prick. I'm not gonna lie, the dude's a fucking prick. At least he was to me, right? I get it, you gotta do your job, you gotta be firm and all this stuff, and I'll go into the reasons why in my interactions with him in later parts, but the dude's a fucking prick. Probably just doing his job, probably just didn't like me just from the times that he interacted with me. This one dude, the best lead instructor that was there, Doug, the dude's a fucking, oh my god, he's charismatic, he's informative, he's a great teacher, and, you know, like, everyone liked their interactions with Doug. Doug was very well-rounded. He was easy to talk to, easy to go along with. So, but that other lead instructor, dude, that guy fucking, he was a prick, but probably just doing his job, still. I'm not saying I hate the guy or anything, I don't. I'm just saying that the way he came off was kind of dickish. And yeah, I don't know why, but lack of muscle. Lack of muscle. Yeah, I know. 6 weeks, didn't get shit done. But for the most part, administration's pretty good. If you have an issue and you bring it to their attention, you got to fill out some stupid form. But, you know, it's a pretty quick turnaround on them addressing any issue you might have. So it's pretty solid for the most part. Pretty good. Not perfect. It's been, I should have done these videos so much sooner, but this is from what I can recall. The administration is good. It's not great, but I would say that they are good in the sense of where they do want to take care of the students. The number one issue is that there's just a lot. And I wish I can give more examples, but I didn't have too many issues that involved administration other than, you know, the attendance one. And that was kind of like, I think, like an everybody thing. But it's just a policy thing, arguing semantics, whatever. So, then there's Bob. Bob. The lawyer Bob. Oh my God. I mean, he's a lawyer and stuff, but I don't know. I mean, I could talk shit on him all day if I wanted, but oh my God, Bob! Alright. Alright. Alright, you know what? I did want to talk about Bob, the lawyer and part of the administration, but I guess I'll touch on Bob in my next bit, which would be part 4, which would be a slight break from the retail ready, but give you more of a personal experience that I had while I was there. Me almost getting kicked out. I got punched in the face, and I almost got kicked out. There's a lot to the story, my friends. See you next time. Mace Valor sign off.